The next one, and I suppose now there's a bit of economics coming in here, is household debt to disposable income. This is something that's widely used. I believe there are 11 journalists here tonight, something journalists use quite often to say how indebted on average is a South African consumer, something banking analysts use, because that kind of explains bad debts. It obviously hides quite wide variation. How wide is the variation? Well, those of you that know the graph, right now, our average debt to disposable income, you can see that red line is about 75%. Okay, so on average, by the way, there's a whole different line, which is your average repayment, which has come down with interest rates, but at least it's been coming down, so people think that's positive. I'm going to show you now on the next slide that same 75% average expressed for wealthy customers. These are our customers who earn more than 1.1 million. Consumers, people who earn more than 100,000, or the mainstream market, which is below 100,000. Now you can see incredibly high variability here. This 140% average in this segment is about the same as California or Northern Europe. We actually have a highly indebted, wealthy segment in South Africa. This is also problematic. Okay, consumers, and in the mainstream market is arguably underlent. So suddenly this starts explaining why you're seeing a very fast growth in, for example, unsecured lending. But now even this is misleading, because in the wealth market, there are some people who owe nothing. Okay? Some wealthy people owe nothing, and others owe quite a bit more. So you get the issue. And it doesn't mean that you may not within here have certain segments of the population that are completely over-indebted. So I'm not saying that this ratio, the ratio I showed you, household debt to disposable income, has no validity. I'm just saying that we just use it as the main explanatory variable for everything. And that's a sin of averaging, because it really doesn't explain the complexity of what's happening in our economy. Now, there is a bit of banking. Okay, so I'm cheating a little bit here. People think banks are all the same. Okay, it irritates us no end, because our whole job is to make us better than the other banks. And that's what all our competitors would say. I mean, you go home, you sleep every night, and you don't sleep because you think, how can I be better and how can I be more competitive? You spend 10 hours of your day at work, all of us, just saying how you can outcompete the competitors. And yet, South Africans think, oh, you know what, banks are all the same. Okay, now I'm just using one example. Okay, I could have chosen many, which is fees. And please note, I've used FNB because that actually, I must say, wasn't the motivation. I just didn't want to go to the Advertising Standards Authority again. So these are the FNB figures. I have to say that from what we've modeled, it does approximate quite well the middle income check market and the type of behavior of customers. And there are two packages. The one is pay as you go, and the other one is packages, which generally are cheaper. Those of you that aren't with packages, okay, you're not rational, and those of you that aren't with us, you're also not rational, but that's a completely different point. So these are vast differences. The difference between 438 and 288 is a lot of money, okay? The difference between 778 and 445 is a huge amount of money. Yet most people say, no, okay, banks are all the same. You know, I know that fees are high, but I just think it's all the same. And then if somebody points it out to them, they'll also say, yes, but it's so difficult to switch. And I could also show you different graphs on that. That's also not the case. But I suppose what I'm trying to tell you here is just that that's part of our job, and it's part of marketing and everything, to persuade South African consumers that, you know, things aren't all average. And also that they need to take more accountability and do things. Because sometimes it's quite comfortable to just live in an average world and say, you know, it's all the same in any event. So there's consumer choice. This is just, you can see this is a matchbox. Okay, so it's a matchbox sum that I've done. Again, please, matchbox sum. But I've said, assume there are 10 million check account users in South Africa. There are 33 million economically active people that don't bank with us. But let's just take less than a third of them and say they're 10 million. What would happen if that 10 million on the lowest option came to us? Well, they would save R1 billion. Now, I don't know, in your lives, maybe R1 billion isn't a lot of money. There's R1 billion that people could save by just not saying all banks out there are average.